What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video about underhoods. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change an alternator belt on the 2002 Mark 4 Golf V6 4motion. So here's the car in question. As you can see, I've already removed the driver's side wheel, which you'll need to do to get better access to the belt from the bottom. There's usually a cover just here, which has already been removed. Should be easy enough for you to do, so I'm not going to tell you how to do that. So yeah, get your car on a jack, get the wheel removed. You lost my slippers there. So yeah, get your car on a jack, axle stand preferably, and remove the wheel. Next thing you're going to want to do is get a 19mm socket, which will go onto the tensioner as a, you can't see it very well, but there is a 19mm bolt shape on the tensioner. Basically just release the tensioner, then take the belt off from the bottom just to get it loose, and you can then let go of the tensioner. Then you're going to want to remove the tensioner. So that's two HW6 Allen key bolts, which have already been removed. As you can see, there's a hole here and there's a hole just below that one, which is where the HW6 bolts are located. Then you're going to need a 13mm socket to remove the nut that is holding this pipe onto the tensioner. You'll see there, I've already removed it. So on there was a 13mm nut. After you take off the 13mm nut, you can remove this pipe, and there is a 13mm bolt, which would be the last bolt that holds the tensioner. So once that's done, and the reason why you need to remove the tensioner is because there is no space at the back for the belt to come off of the tensioner. So definitely would have been easier if I had more hands. All good though. So yeah, as you can see, voila, tensioner removed. So if you're planning on replacing this as well, you would have seen the steps also of how to remove a tensioner for replacement of tensioner. Generally these last quite a long time, so I wouldn't imagine that you need to change that anyway, but yeah, if you do, that's how it's done. So with that being done, you can then proceed to remove your belt. Obviously try and keep in mind how you took it off, because the last thing you want to do is put it on the wrong way, if that is even possible. But yeah, just take a mental note of how it was on before you take it off. Yeah man, are you that? Okay, so obviously just put it in the same way you took it off. So because we've taken off the tensioner, we're going to put the belt back on the tensioner and put the tensioner back onto the body of the vehicle or the engine, and then proceed to put the belt back onto the other wheels. So let's go with that.
Oh shit, yeah. I'm scared.
Even though this belt was matched up to the registration of the vehicle, part suppliers do sometimes get these wrong, so make sure you check your belt against your old belt against the new belt, just to make sure they're the right size, or at least a very close measurement, because you know the slightest can definitely cause you issues. Slightest measurement, that is. Reason for the change was the owner of this vehicle was having noises come from his belt. It was squeaking, which is not the end of the world, but it can be a little bit irritating, and you know, just generally annoy people, and eventually obviously it will break eventually. So as you can see here, it started fraying along the edges of the belt. That could have been the cause, because as you can see, the grooves are quite predominant. You can see them quite well. Yeah, it's a bit worn, isn't it? So yeah, we'll be getting a nice new one on, assuming it's the right size. I'm sure it is. So let's measure that against the other one.
You said to me.
I said
no.
Just put water. Well, it will change it eventually.
I buy the thing and spray it on it. And you said to me, just change your belt. And I said, okay.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said just change your belt.
I think he's just giving me credit, yeah.
No,
I don't remember saying that to him. But I got a brain like a sieve. I got a brain like a sieve. So okay, so do a measurement.
You're drinking rum.
Yeah, the rum doesn't help. Rum definitely doesn't help. But you know, we're in lockdown, so what else do I have to do? Okay, that looks like a fairly accurate measurement. Yeah, that's good. Okay, belt looks like it's the same size as the old one, so we're gonna get the new one on and fit everything back up and see how she sounds. Okay, so put your belt around your tensioner, first step, and then proceed to put the tensioner back in place. Okay, so just feed the belt through, remembering obviously where it went would help slightly. So that's basically how it was on the outside of the top too, and it goes in, but we'll just get it mounted first. So it's the last bolt that came out, so we'll put that one back in first. Cool, look at the quality of this camera, eh? S20, giving you a shout out there, Samsung. They do make good cameras. But anyway, it's not about technology today. It's about vehicle mechanics. Mad thing. Alright.
So yeah, the bolt too.
Yep, here you go, bolt. Need me to hold anything, mate? It's a nice change to have extra pair of hands when you're doing your work. Alright, so let's line this up. Okay. Bottom one. Or where's the Allen key bolt if you want. If it's easier, you know, just to get the tensioner in the right place, just put any bolt in, whichever one's easiest for you.
Fucking hell, this.
Okay, so we're gonna try and put an Allen key bolt in first. If you do own a V6 4motion, you'll know how incredibly tight they are when it comes to space in the engine bay. As you can see, the engine is really big. Not like my 1.8T, where I have huge amounts of space to work with. But yeah, that's one of the cons, I guess, of owning a V6 4motion.
This is what we
Right, so got the tensioner back in place, as you can see. Put the Allen keys back on and the 13mm bolt. Now I'm going to put the 13mm nut that goes, that holds this pipe in place. As you can see, as you can see there, it's just sitting on the bolt at the moment. So I'm going to put the nut on and then get back to putting the belt on.
just hold it there, yeah?
Just recording. I was about to give my phone over and start doing work, and you know what? I'm taking it easy today. I'm always working on cars. So we are about to put this belt back on and believe we know which order it goes in. So the two top wheels, the tensioner wheel and the one underneath it, which is that one just there, you can see, goes on the outside. We're then going to bring it onto the inside and back out again.
Right, so
and the very bottom one was out. Let's just see how we get on.
okay.
So off the camera, you wouldn't have seen how much time that took. It was a little bit of a headache, but you know what? I guess it was the way in which he was trying to put the belt back on. Even though we had 2 sets of hands, it was just a bit of a headache. But anyway, long and short, belt's back on. The last wheel we put the belt onto was this belt at top. So basically, if you've got someone who lines up all the other wheels, and while you're holding the tension, if you haven't got the screw, that is obviously, or something to put in between tension to stop it from releasing, if you put all the rest of them on, there's a small wheel here you can see. You can just put that one on last while you're holding the tensioner. And that is it, guys. That is how you change an alternator belt on a 2002 Mark 4 Golf V6 4motion. So as always, thanks a lot for checking out my videos, guys. I hope this video helped you in some way. If you need to ask any questions, feel free to drop me a comment and I'll always try and get back to you as soon as I can. And please make sure you smash that like button, turn on your post notifications for future uploads, and always subscribe. Until next time, peace.